Well, guys, we may be getting a pretty significant change, actually, to Ultimate Team next year. And the reason we know that is because EA said so, that they are announcing a brand new mode playtest that's already starting now. So we're going to go and talk about that because some of you already probably know what this is. And if you don't know what this is, you're not going to have asked for this. In fact, it's going to be something that you don't care about probably. But I think it's going to be, maybe not change is the right word, but definitely a new wrinkle or new thing that's like somewhat important into just the game in general. We got that to talk about, plus UEFA Primetime. New heroes are coming. They haven't announced which ones are coming out. And so far, I believe the rumor, unfortunately, is none are SBCs, which kind of sucks. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the top of the description. They're the safest and the cheapest option, and you can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. Yeah, we'll talk about that. There's other random shit too, gameplay stuff. This cup stuff has been fucked up. And also, I'll have a base icon pack to open at the end of the video. So yeah, let's get started with content. So, well, first of all, guys, I do want to say, is this a dumb idea? Yes. Okay, it's a dumb idea, but I'm going for fun evos this year, and Nick Voltamata is my new Musiala evo. I think he's gonna have like 82 pace, 86 shooting, 82 passing, 88 dribbling, something like that with Tech Plus, and play styles look like this. He's getting trickster and incisive as well. It's not gonna be, you know, is it gonna be the most meta card of all time? No, but you know what? He's gonna be interesting. He's either gonna be game breaking for me or useless and terrible. I've been trying different tactics out. Tried the Narrow for the first time this year, and I'm gonna make a video soon on different tactics again. And also with content here, the Screamers tournament is just, I don't know who made this. I don't know who keeps making these. There's a problem with this, and that is that you cannot complete all the objectives. Like, you can't if you win it, because it doesn't let you play. If you win it on the first try, it locks you out and you can't play it, and you can't finish the objectives. It's only 3 days that it's out for. So people are now purposely losing when they get to the final so that they can play it continuously, because you could win it 3 times in a row in all 3 days here and play 12 games. So you can't complete 8 of these objectives. I don't know who made this. They didn't think about it. It's like the 3rd or 4th time in the last little bit. There's weird quirks with objectives that they just don't think about. So can we start thinking about them, please? That would be nice. And last thing with content here, I guess, is I want to get like a temperature check from you guys. Are you enjoying the content? Including evolutions too, by the way, like the cups and the objective content combined with the evolutions, combined with the SBCs. Have you been enjoying it? Have you not been? Is it better than last year? To me, I think it is better than last year. Around this time last year, the game was in such a bad state, and that was because of EA. Let's be honest here. The gameplay was really bad. It was worse to me. Last year's gameplay at this point was worse to me than this year's gameplay is, and also content was worse. Now, the bar was literally in the depths of hell. Like, last year's game was terrible. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you guys that. Now, okay, what's the new change or new thing coming into FIFA? Well, it's the open world mode. It's been basically confirmed by EA. We'll look at the tweet here in a sec, where they announced that they're sending out playtest invites to go and play this. I think in just like a week's time, I want to say. And then Sheriff and Donk came out and said, this is what is being tested. It's the open world mode. You can use your own custom player, interact with the community and friends, similar to NBA 2K Park if you've played that, and then being tested this week. I think it's actually more like the city. NBA 2K had the park, then that turned into the city. I think this is basically FIFA's version of the city. And we can then read EA's tweet here, where they say, while we continue to shape this year's game with your feedback, by the way, we're not forgetting about this year's game. We're taking the next step in building the world's game together. Starting today, invited players will have hands-on access to a limited time closed technical test of pre-release content, aka the open world. And then EA announces in here too that it will not be coming in this year's game. The thing that they're play testing, which I haven't announced yet, and they won't announce that, but we know what it is. So yeah, none of us probably care about this, and actually 2K players have said that this was the literal worst thing that 2K added was the city. It just sucked, and it still to this day is not liked by the 2K community at all. So take that for whatever that is worth. And Chewboy here says, it sounds cool, but here's what I learned from meeting hardcore 2K creators recently. The in-game ad revenue proved very lucrative. Things like Gatorade branded facilities, branded clothing, etc. The numbers I heard were insane. They also told me it overcomplicated the menus for no reason, and interesting to see how EA approaches this. And you might be saying, okay, does this really have to do much with Ultimate Team? This seems maybe more like pro clubs and expanded pro clubs where you can walk around with your own guy and walk around in an open world environment in a city. All that jazz that might be kind of cool once, and then after that, you don't care. Well, the thing is that if they're making this is going to be monetized heavily, right? They are obviously very confident that they can monetize the shit out of this, because otherwise they would not have made it. So if we know for sure they're going to monetize the shit out of it. Ultimate Team's their biggest money-making mode. They're going to want Ultimate Team players to at least check out this open world type mode that's coming out. And I keep saying mode. I think what this actually is here is just what next year's game is. You load into the game and you load in with your guy. And whether you play Ultimate Team or not, like, this is what you load into is this. That might not be the case. 2K, you actually did used to load in first, and then they took that away because people did not like that. Now you can select to go into the city or go into the Ultimate Team type mode that 2K has, right? So we'll see what they do with that. But the point is that if they believe that they can monetize this heavily, they're going to get Ultimate Team players to really, really try and play in the city to at least a certain degree, right? Maybe I'm wrong and they want to keep this completely separate, right? Maybe they just want to completely keep Ultimate Team exactly how it is. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think there's going to be objectives next year, especially at the start of the game, that says, hey, do XYZ in the city and you earn X reward, probably packs, right? It might not be even Ultimate Team related. They just want you to go into the city, do that to get an Ultimate Team pack. I'm sure we're going to see that probably quite a bit next year. So that's where I say that it's not going to be like a change per se, but just something different to the game next year that I don't think, first of all, any of us really care about. If somehow miracles do exist and it ends up being a smash hit, I'm willing to eat shit on this one, but I'm willing to go out on a limb and say this is going to be an extreme amount of resources used into this that we don't care about. Now, I know EA has said they have a lot more people now working on this game, so they can do things like this. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is going to be the buggiest of buggiest releases next year. Guys, they can't code objectives right. They can't code so much shit right, and they're gonna make an open world that works. I mean, they have a giant undertaking here. Now, let's be honest, it's probably going to be a complete fucking failure. Now, I'm not gonna say that it won't be just all-encompassingly horrible. Like, there might be some cool things in there. There probably will be some cool things in there. But if I had to guess, the novelty will wear off very quickly. It'll take away resources from Ultimate Team, and it's gonna be just a complete non-factor in your experience, most likely, for the most part next year and for years beyond, which obviously sucks because resources that you want put into things you care about will now not be. So anyway, that's my, I guess, like, thoughts on this. What do you guys think? That's really all we have to go off of right now, but it's gonna be in the game next year. Like, it's gonna be in the game, and it's there probably like GTA 6 response thing to where, oh, people are gonna say, oh, there's an open world now in FC 27. Let's go check that out and just see what that looks like. Is it gonna be cool? Because they want to get people off of GTA 7. GTA 7, no, GTA 6, FC 27 is where this will come in, and I think it's there because it's their way of getting you to just log on the game to see something, and that's their goal for the casual player to do that, right? But okay, yeah, we're done with the open world shit right now. Let's get on some current stuff here. We've got the UEFA Primetime promo coming next. Now, before we go into the new heroes coming, the first thing we learned about this promo is that it's a live promo, similar to Road to the Final, but not the same. It looks like Road to the Final will not be a thing this year. It looks like this kind of takes the place of that. Playstyle plus boost, overall boost, but something different apparently than Road to the Final was. Well, Road to the Knockouts, right? That's the first one. I think that's what he meant to say here. And the first new hero coming out is Daniele De Rossi. So we had him leaked, obviously. All three of these guys have been leaked to be in the game back a few months back, but slowly looks like they'll be coming out here, and De Rossi is the first player, and this is awesome to see. They're probably going to go out and make these guys very, very good, so not going to be very cheap, but cool to see De Rossi in the game now. And next up here is Salgado. Stats predictions on him as well, but Salgado's the second hero coming out, and he'll be from La Liga. If you guys don't know him, he played in La Liga for a really long time. And then the last new hero that we got coming out is apparently Nasib. I think that's how you say her name. I apologize if that's wrong. It's this card down here, and there's some controversy right now around Charisma because EA teased three new heroes. We have De Rossi and Nasib that are coming out, and then also Salgado was just leaked by all the leakers, and EA said three are coming out, so we don't really know what's going on with that. Could it be a Team 2 thing where Charisma comes out in Team 2? It definitely could be. We'll have to wait and see, but everyone's waiting for Charisma, and I believe that once they're out in this promo, their base cards will then be in the game. So Nasib's base card is this: 84 pace, 83 shooting, 87 passing, 90 dribbling. Now Flair plus here, because we actually got these leaked prior to the playstyle plus changes, so I'm assuming it's going to be inventive, or maybe it's going to be game changer, right? And these stats could be subject to change. It was a while ago, but these are the official stats from the leakers, like in the beginning of August. assist. And here's DeRosa here, 78 pace, 82 shooting, 88 defending, 87 physical with slide tackle plus. And then the other one here is Charisma with game changer plus, obviously, of course, an 86 pace, 80 shooting, 89 dribbling, or Ricardo Charisma. But we'll see when he drops. And also, you know, we got these 3 Bayern heroes here. We don't know when they're coming out. There's a lot of new heroes that we've had leaked and rumored that we've not seen yet. Zamorano, I think we've not seen yet either. And then we also, there's one more I'm forgetting, but there's a lot, and we'll see him at some point in this year. We do actually have our first like actual promo player that's in the game right now, leaks to be in the team, and that's Eden Hazard. Seems like heroes are a pretty big theme of this promo, and yeah, you won't be able to afford this card anyway, so who really gives a shit? Next up here, we do get 3 Player of the Month SBCs this week. We got the Premier League, the Serie A, and the Bundesliga all supposed to be coming out this week. So flashbang warning, I'm warning you right now. If we go look at the schedule, though, we can see when they're coming out, and it's not till Thursday we get the Bundesliga right here. Thursday the 6th, and then Friday we should be getting the Premier League and Serie A according to the schedule. Sometimes there's a little bit of a hiccup with the schedule. It might be like within a day or so of each other, but we probably will be seeing Bundesliga Thursday, Prem and Serie A on this Friday. And some of the best cards we could see in here is Hakan Çalhanoğlu and Brian Mbermo. The nominees, if we go and look through them here, if you guys happen to miss them, we've got, you know, Bruno Guimaraes is here, Erling Haaland is here. I doubt they give it to him again, though. Mbermo has the most goals and assists. Man United had a really nice month. They didn't lose or draw, 3 wins there. It's most likely going to be a Brian Mbermo SBC. Bundesliga, Baumgartner is probably the favorite, you would say. Grimaldo actually has 3 goals and assists at left mid or wherever he plays now. So Grimaldo and Baumgartner have a really good chance there. And then we've got Çalhanoğlu here. Leao is nominated, but he's not likely to win it because they had 3 draws this month. 1 win and 3 draws there. Zambo and Geese had 3 wins, and Çalhanoğlu had 2 wins. So we will see. But okay, next up here, this Boras Legend tweet. So he tweeted this out. It was doing a lot of numbers today. FC26 has some serious issues with FC IQ. For example, center backs drifting wide and leaving gaps centrally, wing backs / attacking wing backs not moving like they should, center mids drifting wide, and an inside forwards not cutting in enough. This is the biggest one to me that is so apparent that I don't know how they haven't fixed this yet. Well, actually, I take that back. They did say they fixed some instances where that happened. It happens all the time. In my 4-4-2, I almost had to stop using my 4-4-2 because the right mid and left mid just would not cut inside. You have them on inside forward, and they're playing like they're wingers, and they don't get in the box. It's infuriating. It was not how they played last year. And he's right when he says FIFA 13 had better AI movement. It's unbelievable. It had better AI movement. FIFA 15, 16, 17, all of them did. 3 at the back is impossible because left mid / right mids are missing roles. Cam roles don't defend. Cam roles drift wide. Striker roles stand too high up. This is the problem with it, is that if you have a roles system where you can't really have too much freedom with your tactics, it's designed to have more freedom, right? It's designed to have the illusion of more freedom, but really it's supposed to limit you because they want you to have to buy better AI, which is fucking ridiculous. This, to me, in terms of gameplay, is one of the biggest issues actually right now. I think there are some things about gameplay that still suck, but it's better. Like, we're on a better track to me. But the FCIQ stuff is one of the biggest problems about gameplay. Like, I don't know what exactly they were thinking with this because it is, like, they made their job so much more difficult trying to implement this. The game now has to consider so many factors with attacking AI. You have the role itself, the role plus, the role plus plus, attack positioning, the other roles around the player, the focus. They gave themselves such a daunting task to try and make this work that they know that they don't have unlimited resources. Like, they don't. Why would you try this? What it probably was just a selling point to make a different edition of a game. Like, they had to come up with something new, and this is what they came up with to sell another year of the game. Like, this is probably what this was. I don't know what they were thinking with this. If you can't make it, like, really good, there's no point in adding this. Putting attacking AI, for one, behind a paywall, obviously ridiculous. And then 2, you didn't have to do this, but here we are now, and the system sucks to me. I think we all can agree it sucks. It wouldn't be as bad if players could play any role and they played it to the same level all the time. Besides, maybe attacking positioning was like the one stat, right? Sure, that's fine. But so many different things are accounted for here that you're playing the game and you're like, there's no consistency. Consistency is so hard in this game because the roles exist. So I don't know. I totally agree with Boras here. I think the FCIQ thing has been a flop to me, and I don't think they had to do this. Like, you could have just stuck with what was there, but they had to make something new for a new game because they have to make something new. They have to make something new out of thin air because they have to sell a new game every year. And then also, they wanted to paywall the attacking AI, which, good lord. Is there a point in even getting started with that? I mean, I think we could talk about that for a long time. But all right, let's move on to the market now. What do we got here? So it's continuing to kind of stay right about at that low point we saw it at yesterday. Well, actually, I didn't make a video yesterday, but the day before that, it's slightly lower than that, and it's like the same point it was at yesterday. So I do like buying right now, actually. The thing that could mess with this is if, say, they make DeRossi an SBC, which I don't think they're going to do, but then that would be so popular that people will sell cards to complete him. I think that would have been leaked already, probably. And then also some player of the months like in Burmo. Like, I wouldn't buy a Prem right wing right now, but I think it's just going to be a tough week to see what makes the market drop other than just like no gameplay demand, which could happen, but I'm not leaning towards that. I went out and bought that Icon Foudy I had in my team. I went out and bought Alawayron. Like, I went out and bought some cards here, and I'm fine sticking with those guys for my Rivals week. The Scream upgrades are tomorrow, so we'll talk about that with the market and stuff. I think there's going to be some gameplay demand when the upgrades are out, like the Pogba SBC that everybody did, the other Scream SBCs that are very popular. People will be playing for these 7 days while these upgrades are here. That's why I'm kind of more bullish on the market than some people are during this week. Yeah, I still think, by the way, you can go out and buy some cards right now, like that 12K range, and go out and gamble on them. I think you can do that. Tomorrow they'll probably be up even higher because people know that it's 1 day to the upgrades. There's short-term holds then. It's still short-term now, but I think if you go to promo squads, like, you will see more people buying these, like, you know, discard Scream cards, like the Haleys, the Dues, and those kinds of cards. Team 2, we actually already know what the upgrades look like, so that's kind of a problem with Team 2. But Team 1, you can gamble on and see what the upgrades might be. And if you want to gamble, tonight's the night, because I think tomorrow they will be a little bit higher because they know that they're going up tomorrow, right? Okay, let's read some of your comments now. We've got Edgar who says, love your content, man. Keep it up. But please, let's not pretend that these are mistakes. And he's referring to, obviously, the EA icon mess up that we had 2 days ago with Pele being there. You know, I do think that it's difficult to have the two opinions align of, like, I think EA are incompetent, but also these mistakes are completely intentional and some genius way to create FOMO. I think they can simultaneously exist, but I think it's not likely. I think if we Occam's razor this, I do believe that these mistakes probably are just due to the fact that there's not enough resources here in this company, and it's a big old game, a lot of spaghetti code that I think is just tough to deal with all of it. Not an excuse, obviously. They make billions sniffing coke and banging hookers on yachts while you fight for your 9-to-5 job. I think what is more likely to me is that these mistakes are probably not intentional, and they are just like genuine mistakes that have some unrelated side effects that, yeah, this can create FOMO, so it's actually not that bad for us. I think that's more likely. However, I know I'm playing both sides here, but I do think that we can never rule out shit that EA does as being intentional based off of, like, conspiracy shit. Like, we know some of the conspiracy stuff exists, right? We know that. So is it that crazy to say that they're intentional? I don't think so, personally, but I just don't think that probably is the case. We got Ryan Hodgson. Am I crazy, or could they just get rid of the stupid cinematics like at corners and throw-ins and stats popping up to lessen the info that has to be sent and processed in favor of a little better connection? Less info equals faster processing, right? So I think this comes down to whether the delay is through, like, the servers and internet connection, or whether it's in the game itself, like baked into the gameplay, because if it's baked in the gameplay, that makes sense. Showing all these cutscenes, cinematics, whatever, the crowd going crazy and all this shit, there would be less stuff for the game to load, and maybe if it's baked in the gameplay, then that would help with the delay. If it's the internet stuff, I think that wouldn't matter, like, cause showing cutscenes and stuff, I don't think that matters with the internet connection itself. But I've been of the opinion a lot of the times that it is baked in the gameplay. I think the delay has been baked into the gameplay. EA did admit that it was baked in the gameplay a lot of the time too, with their animation system. Now, of course, it still exists. The delay still exists, and they said they fixed and made animations more responsive this year, and they did. Passing is more responsive this year. Dribbling is too, but I think the delay we feel is baked in the gameplay, and then the internet stuff just compounds on it, because that does exist too, but that mainly compounds on it. I think most of the delay genuinely is baked in the game, and we won't get a fix for that until EA changes engines, which will they do? Probably never. I saw this comment from Kenneth that says, when he says it's buy time, what does he mean? Buy the lower high rated cards? I'm confused. So if you don't know what I mean when I say, like, I want to buy cards today, or say next week, or whatever we end up talking about, whatever that is, what I mean mean by buying cards, I mean buying my team. Like, I want to buy my team at this time. I should say that, but when I mean buying cards, that's what I mean. If I say buying fodder, it ends up being buying fodder, or, you know, an investment. We talk about investments. Like, usually if I say buy cards, it's like for those of you who want to buy your team, right? That's kind of what I generally mean by that. For those of you who are new, I will try my best and do a better job at try and be more specific about that. And also, I fucked up in my last video. I was like, oh, center back Evo's coming out, guys. It was literally out. It came out that day. I just missed it because the Musiala Evo came out, and I thought that was the only one that came out. It wasn't, and I covered the center back Evo, and it was already out. So, L me. This is what I mean when we give good advice around here. It doesn't come often around these parts, so that's why we gloat when we do get things right. But all right, we're not done yet, folks. We got the icon pack, and we are not going to roulette it as much as I want to. We're not rouletting it. We're going to just rip this open. We are hitting the icon pack raw, and we're going to get Patrick Vieira in this icon pack right here. French center mid. You ready for it? Ham from Mania. Is this the worst card ever? No. Honestly, it's not. I like Haji in FIFA. I always kind of have, but is this what you want to see? This isn't what you want to see, right? Let's be honest here. Someone help me cope. If you use Haji, tell me if you liked him, please. Yeah, that's it for me, folks. I love you all. Peace.